wanted to use this finger picking pattern in a real song, and it's sort of an adaptation of Bob Dylan's Girl from the North Country. It's not exactly the way he plays. I mean, it's definitely not the way he played it later. It's not even exactly the way he played on his original recording. But it's similar enough that I think it can be used for that song. But the pattern, going back to my other video that I uploaded, was this one, where you pinch 6 and 2, thumb and middle finger. Well, it starts with 6 and 4 with your thumb going back and forth. Then you start with a pinch, and then thumb goes to 4, and then index goes to 3. So pinch, 6 and 2, 4, 3. And then the second half of the pattern just does all that separately. Instead of pinching these together, it does them one at a time. So it's pinch, 4, 3, 6, 2, 4, 3. And again, your thumb is on 6 and 4. Your middle is on 2. Your index is on 3. So thumb and middle pinch 6 and 2. Thumb goes to 4. Index on 3. Then thumb, middle, thumb, index. Pinch 6 and 2. 4, 3, 6, 2, 4, 3. That's my right hand pattern. Okay, and if you missed the other video, go back to it, because I do it like on a G chord, and that'll figure into this song too. So like so. So that's the right hand pattern that I'm using throughout this song. That doesn't change in this rendition of this song. It's the same on different chords. So there's 4 different chords that I'm using. The first one is like a variation on an E minor with an F sharp in here. Let me just go over this chord. My second finger is on the 4th string, 4th fret. I leave the 3rd string open. My first finger goes to the 2nd string, 3rd fret. So it's an F sharp, a G, and a D. And again, when I get my right hand going in the pattern that we're using, just like so. Okay, that's our first chord, what I'm calling the E minor on the sheet that you can download. Okay, it's actually an E minor with an F sharp in there. Somebody feel free to post on here and tell me what the actual name of the chord is. I'm sure it's on the internet somewhere. Okay. My next chord I'm going to use, again with the same identical right hand pattern, is going to be a D7th. And let me see if I can get it in the frame here. My index is on the 1st fret, 2nd string. And this is the way I normally teach it. I'll use my thumb a lot, but the way I normally teach it is my index is here on the 2nd string, 1st fret. 2nd fret, 6th string is where I put my 2nd finger, and then 2nd fret, 3rd string is where I put my 3rd finger. It's a D7th over F sharp. Okay, and that's for all you who can't use your grip with your thumb well enough. I became a thumb player so long ago that it's just instinctive to me. But that's your D7th over F sharp. There's an A, there's a C, which is the 7th in the D chord, and then add the F sharp on the bass. Okay, that's my second chord. Third chord is just a regular G. I'm just using one finger like I did in the other video, because all throughout here I'm not going to my 5th string or my 1st string at all. Okay, I know that's kind of sad to leave out those 2 perfectly good guitar strings, but as you get used to this and progress along, you can figure out ways to work them in. There's my G. just the low G with my third finger, and that's kind of important for the next chord that I'm going to use, which would be a C over G. And here, if you make a C chord and just move your third finger over, that's a C over G, just like that. But in this case, my third finger was already here, so I just put these other two fingers down, the E and the C, leaving the third string open as if you're making a C chord, but just keeping the low G. That's your C over G. Okay? And those are the 4 chords in the song. Okay? So if you practice them individually and practice them, the changes, that'll be the hardest part. And again, if you're having trouble putting all this together, just go back to just one chord and practice your right hand pattern until you don't have to think about it so much anymore. And then if you're just working with the chords, you can just maybe pinch them to get the changes. Going back and forth between the chords. That's easier than this. That's probably the hardest part of the whole song. Okay? So, following along with the sheet, I'm doing 2 E minors. Going to my D7th over F sharp, and to my G, going to my C over G, and back to my G, then back to my E minor. Second line, 2 E minors, same thing, D7th over F sharp, G, C, G, back to my E minor for the third line. Now this is different, 2 E minors. This time I'm going straight to my C over G and back to my G, C over G again, and G again. Fourth line, same as the first 2. 2 E minors, D7th over F sharp, G, C over G, G. And if you listen to the original version back in 1962 or 3 or whenever it was, you'll notice that, well, first of all, he's in a different key. He's in A, capoed up, and tuned not quite to A440, which is fine. And he'll hang on some chords, like he'll hang on the G shape at the end of it before going into the next verse or that sort of thing. So just be prepared for any of that if you're going back and listening to the original version. First, you'll probably have to retune your guitar to get with him, because he's like in A half flat or something. So anyway. So, if we're singing it with my croaky old froggy voice, it'll be something like this. If you're traveling in the North Country Fair, where the wind is heavy on the borderline, remember me to the one who lives there. For she once was a true love of mine. And then you work on speeding it up because it needs to go pretty quick. If you're traveling in the North Country Fair, where the wind is heavy on the borderline, remember me to the one who lives there. For she once was a true love of mine. You notice one other little move I was doing when going from my G to my C over G. I can do a little hammer there, which is one of my favorite moves. And you're hammering two fingers, even though you're not picking both of those strings. You know, just the hammer on. If you hammer hard enough on that fourth string, you can hear it in there too. Notice my right hand, the rhythm of my right hand is not changing. It's still as if I was doing just the chords. But what I'm doing is I'm waiting with my left hand until after I've already done the pinch, and then I'm hammering on. So it's 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1 E, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, 2, and 3, and 4. And that's something all by itself that you can practice. Have fun.